Hey y'all, Goosebumps for Dumbasses here. And yeah, today we're doing a book review here, and y'all aren't dumbasses. I mean anything by that. Anyways, yeah, they're doing a book review for Escape from Shudder Mansion. Now this book is kind of a popular and unpopular modern book. When it is brought up, it's commonly praised for being really, really good. Or, you know, it's just never talked about besides that. Yeah, so I didn't really have any certain expectations going to this book besides, yeah, it'll be fun. And I knew there was a specific scene in here. I'm like, okay, I'm excited for that. And that was a really good scene. But, yeah, before I spoil how I thought of the book, you know, my opinion, I just want to say, this is definitely a modern you shouldn't skip out on. I'll say that. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get to the review. And now for the blurb. Oh boy. There's a slappy throat, and Yoni screaming it. Riley Shiner is obsessed with Escape from Shudder Mansion, a video game that is based on a real spooky house in his neighborhood. He's played it so much, he knows it by heart, which is why he won't go anywhere near the actual place. It's just too dangerous. There are shadows that creep around outside, and then there's the level Riley can't ever beat. It features the worst creature of all. Riley's about to find out that you don't always play this game. Sometimes it plays with you. So, yeah, they like the premise of this book at the bat. Like, that's what made me want to read this. I think there might be either an episode from TV show copying this book, or this book is copying an episode from a TV show. Because hilariously enough, American Horror Stories episodes 1, 2, and I think the season finale of that season, where it jumps back to that, the Rubber Woe Man, wherever the hell it's called, is directly Shudder Mansion. There's a video game, and the same house is in your neighborhood for that story. Just so happens to be, you know. And, yes, it turns out to be really fucking haunted, and you probably shouldn't go anywhere fucking near it. Yeah, that is the exact premise of that episode from that TV show, so I thought it was really funny, and I thought I'd point it out real quick, but, yeah, American Horror Stories, either you copied them Goosebumps, or they copied you Goosebumps, I'm not sure. So, this book is surprisingly great. It shouldn't come out as a surprise. This premise just sounded great, honestly. There's a lot of good stuff from this book to offer, and it's definitely something you shouldn't skip out on if you're not really into the modern books, especially Slappy World. This would maybe be one of the few Slappy Worlds you do read. Alongside, I think It's Alive, which I don't think I've read in a very, very long time. Please Don't Feed the Weirdo, Fright Night, and The Dummy Meets the Mummy. Those are my top 5 Slappy Worlds. They're really solid. And without further ado, let's get into the upsides. So what did I love about this book? Well, straight off the bat, I have to say, the opening to the end, nearly the end, the opening to like the second to last chapter, I think were really, really good. It contained a consistent quality, and that is good. It is very good. I didn't feel like any parts of the book besides the ending were kind of, you know, lacking in funness and awesomeness and overall just, you know, greatness. I will say this, the ending definitely isn't a great part, so it doesn't, you know, it's not beginning to end, sadly, but it's basically beginning to nearly the fucking end. Yeah, I really, really like this book almost all throughout, I'll say that. This book is also genuinely scary. Now, there are some scenes in this book that I would contender for being one of the scariest scenes in all of Goosebumps. Yeah, there's a scene in here with a skeleton, and it is actually terrifying. Like, genuinely, I hated it. In a good way, of course. We love to hate that part. Yeah, that part was really, really fucking scary. It actually got to me. And there's some other parts in this book involving the actual creature you may or may not see in the cover. I think they call it the Beast in the book. I know, very clever name. You know, so creative. Yeah, the scene involving that where it first shows up, that is actually scary. Like, really fucking good. These kids are in genuine danger. Another thing I will have to commend this book to is the climax. Now, I just said the ending is kind of weak. Or hinted at it heavily. But, the climax before that was actually really good. Because that's where we got the scene where this motherfucker shows up for the first time, We have really, really eerie moments in there. They're exploring the house, and they've got a giant rat monster that they fight off. I think that's the first creature they encounter. It's not really a giant rat, just a mutant rat. Yeah, it's like, it's big as a cat, so no, fuck that. And they have the basement scene, which is starting off good, but of course it ends up being into the ending, and it's just not that great. But yeah, I think the climax is just really, really good. Lots of great moments, very fucking memorable, and they are pretty fucking high stakes. They could literally fucking die. Not to mention the scene where they are glued to the fucking floor. That was, ooh, shit. Another thing I have to commend this book to is being good. So, out of all the modern books, they don't really have good premises. But this book is surprisingly unique, because with the concept of, oh yeah, this is a real video game inside, takes place inside of this house that really resides in this kid's neighborhood. It's just kind of unique, you know? And then with the climax, it has a very, very unique ending. I mean, very GYG-like, I'll say that, but we never really see that in an actual Goosebumps book that isn't a GYG. I'll say that. Now, besides that, I don't think I have any more notable upsides, and this is getting too long anyway, so let's move on to the downsides. So, the ending fucking sucked. Okay, it didn't fucking suck, but it was definitely weak. So basically, they find out they're in an infinite loop. Ooh, great. After they press a button on the wall, they get sent back to earlier that night and completely forget everything. Which is earlier at night, as in they just arrived at Shudder Mansion. Yeah, let's just hope they don't press that button again. Yeah, that is fucking stupid. It was a very lazy way to end the book. And, yeah, it's not very great. Let's just say that. It could have had a way stronger ending. This book definitely had a weaker twist, though, involving a certain character, but they meet very early in the book. And not because it's bad, like, oh, that doesn't fuck the story. I liked it. I like the twist. It's just super easy to see coming. They literally tell you directly in the book that that's gonna happen. Like, it's so unbelievably obvious. Yeah, but, besides those downsides, mostly nitpicks besides the ending, yeah, this book was really, really solid, and I highly recommend it. So, without further fucking ado, let's get to the rating. So my rating often flip-flops with this book. Sometimes I say, oh, this book is fucking grandiose as fuck, and it's just great, really, really good, really scary, and I give it 10 out of 10 sometimes. And then some days I'll be like, oh yeah, it's a 9 out of 10, 9.5. So, like, as you can tell, I'm a huge fan of this book. Minus the ending, of course. I think that's one of the nitpicks I can get by upon reread. I will reread this. It's definitely a reread-worthy book. I don't feel like it deserves a 10 out of 10. But of course, like I said, I kind of flip-flop in the score. So some days I might be like, oh yeah, that definitely deserves that. You know, like, it's just depending on the day. So I'm going to give this a fair score that won't completely fuck myself in the future. For now, 9.5 out of 10. That's what I rate the book. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this book review. I have nothing else really to say. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Comment your thoughts down below about this book. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Tell me, please. Yeah, see you guys in the next one. Bye.